Hey everyone, AJ here, and I'd like to welcome you to another beer review with Straight from the Tap. Today's beer is going to be a 120 Minute IPA from Dogfish Head. So, the name 120 Minute IPA comes from the way they brew the beer. So what they do is they do a full 2-hour boil and they continually hop the wort as they're boiling. And then after that, they dry hop the beer for a whole month, and then after that, for another month, they age the beer on whole leaf hops. So needless to say, this baby is going to be a hop monster. So looking it up ahead of time just to see what I had, gotten myself into, I looked on Beer Advocate, I looked on Untappd. Now, Beer Advocate calls this a double IPA, and Untappd calls this a triple IPA. Now, a lot of times, you'll wonder what's the difference between a regular IPA and a double IPA or even a triple IPA. The main difference is hops and alcohol content. So the more hops you add, the more intense flavors you get, and also depending on how the brewer wants to present the beer, how much bitterness you get. Now you also use more grains and specialty grains for double IPAs or triple IPAs compared to regular IPAs. So once you add more grains and things like that, that's when you start getting that ABV level, the alcohol level, up a little bit higher and higher and higher, which this baby is an astounding 18% alcohol by volume. So thankfully this is the only beer I'm drinking tonight. So we'll see how the aftermath is after this. So this says it ages well for a decade or so. This was bottled back in February. So obviously, if you've watched my previous videos or read my previous beer post, I am very impatient with my beers. So I also wanted to bring this to you folks. So I'm going to try it out. I'm going to pop it open with my trusty bottle cap, or bottle opener, excuse me. So I'm going to give it a sniff. All automatically getting hops right out of the bottle. So give it a nice pour. Just looking at it out of the bottle, a nice amber color actually, which being a double IPA, I was kind of almost expecting a little bit of a more pale yellow kind of look to it. So if you look here, you've got a nice amber color, a nice reddish hue to the head, a decent head to it too. It's a little bit hazy too. So let's give it a sniff, see how it smells. Now, got a lot of booze. Well, actually not that much booze, but a fair amount of citrus, a fair amount of hops, but also a nice balance of the malty smell to it. So let's give it a try, shall we? Wow. So, needless to say, it is quite sweet. It's not, give you a cavity sweet, but because of the booze, because of the high alcohol content, it does have that boozy sweet taste to it. Now, you also get a fair amount of hops to it too, but as I'm tasting it for a little bit longer, you're actually not getting that much bitterness. So it's a very delicious beer, very boozy. Maybe not 18% tasting boozy, but boozy nonetheless. But yes, you get a fair amount of the sweetness from the booze, but a nice, intense hop flavoring. Citrus, floral, you name it, it's in there. But not much of the bitterness. Now, the aftertaste and the mouthfeel, it's a nice, medium-bodied beer, and there's not even that much of an aftertaste, if anything, a malty, maybe boozy flavor on the back of the palate. So, I'm going to let this sit at room temperature for a little while, maybe like 10 minutes, and I'm going to come back, and we're going to see how it tastes at room temperature, well, not room temperature, but a little bit warmer. And we're back. It's been about 10 minutes, and we've been letting the beer sit at room temperature just to see if the flavors and the nose unfolds a little bit more as the beer warms up. So let's give it a sniff, see how it smells. Okay, so still the booziness is coming a little bit more to the forefront, and also getting some like undertones of some dark fruits in there. And it still presents that balanced profile of hops to malts. So let's give it a taste to see how it tastes. Definitely boozy, obviously, but again, similar to the nose, it presents that balanced profile of intense hops, but just as intense booziness and maltiness. And just like the nose, as it's warming up some, I am still getting subtle hints of those dark fruits and things like that. Still hardly any aftertaste, not that much bitterness. The booziness and a little bit of a sting from the booziness kind of diminishes the bitterness of the hops. So this is definitely a great beer to have. I can only imagine what it tastes like aging for a while. And 120 minute IPA, guys, it's no joke. It will set you back a couple of bucks to get either one bottle. You know, one bottle at my local bottle shop was 10 bucks for a 12-ounce bottle. But I'm sure it says it ages well, and I'm sure it's going to taste just as better 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever. I'm sure it ages like fine wine. But you know what? 2 months after bottling, it tastes awesome. I have to say, you got to try it out, guys. So, thanks for watching, everyone. Stay safe, happy drinking, my friends, and cheers. I'll see you next time.